Hello, and welcome to the Stop Wasting Space, Start Earning Money webinar. This webinar is all about turning your unused gym space into a profit powerhouse. My name is Becca Voelpel, and I am so excited to show you how to transform your unused gym space into a thriving revenue stream with small group training. Now, a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. This is an on-demand webinar. It's asynchronous, so feel free to pause, take notes, or rewind at any time. There are also outline chapters, so if you want to revisit any of the content, you can easily scroll through and revisit something you might have missed, want to watch again, or maybe want to share with a colleague or a teammate. So let's jump right into it. Our agenda for this webinar, we are going to talk about 5 main bullet points. We're going to talk all about the space that is needed to make this transformation happen, the classes that are going to bring this transformation to life, personal training, and how you can utilize that modality as well, your brand champions and the champions that are going to bring this to life and give this meaning and power and energy. And then all about some of my favorite sample studios that we have all over the world. So really quick, for those of you who aren't familiar, Total Gym is a company that started focused mainly on home consumers and physical therapy products. Now, this space has evolved into a full service commercial equipment brand. From single station pieces to our signature gravity program, we offer a full suite of products designed to give you and your members and your clients the best workout experience possible. We are firm believers that this is not just metal, this is an experience and a better workout that we are giving to all of our clients and members. Now, if I haven't met you yet, welcome and hello. I am a former professional ballerina. Movement has always been something that I am super passionate about. I've been in the fitness space for about 9 years, and my first foray into fitness, like many of us, was a group fitness certification. I began teaching bar and found myself wanting to choreograph and do a whole lot more in this beautiful industry. So I came on board at Soul Body Fitness, a leader in group fitness mind body programming, and I have been leading one of our signature programs, Soul Body Bar Unhitched, our off the bar program, since 2017. Since then, I've become a Total Gym master trainer and have been leading small group training classes at a big box gym here in Baltimore, Maryland, where I am from. For about a year now, I have been leading those classes and just absolutely loving them. And I felt this pull to really share my experience leading those classes and how our gym has been able to transform our small group training program and make additional revenue with more people. Our Total Gym Gravity program has been thriving since 2009. My colleague Regina set it up, and we are celebrating our 15-year anniversary back in December. So it's just been an amazing experience to see it grow and transform over the last 15 years. At Total Gym, my main focus is to help gyms procure the best workout equipment on the market to provide the best workout experience for their members. I use this background, my love for movement, and my experience leading small group training classes to help other gyms and other studios successfully implement, launch, and maintain their gravity programming in their spaces. So before I do anything, whether it's a workout or teaching a class or going for a walk, I always like to revisit my why. So why are we here today? We want to maximize our space. You might have extra space that you're not using. We're here to talk about how we can make the most of it. Retaining members is key. We all know this. With Pilates surging, you need to make sure you are giving your members the classes that they want, the classes that they're asking for. Boutique studios, they can be more nimble. They can come in, they can take your members and your clients And we want to make sure that we're leveling up with those boutique spaces. We want to make sure that your members are not having a wandering eye and heading down the street to the newest spot. So, we're going to talk a little bit about how we can compete from a big box gym perspective with those smaller, more nimble, more dynamic boutique studios. Attendance and engagement is crucial. Even though you have certain classes that have been on the schedule for years, it does not mean that it's working if it's not well attended. So, we're going to talk about how we can increase member engagement with small group training. And then instructor burnout is real from someone who has been there many, many times. When I feel burnt out, getting creative and using my educational resources is a must to get me out of that burnout and to reignite my passion for what we're all here to do in the fitness industry, which is help people get healthier, live longer, live happier lives. So let's talk about the space. You'll kind of see in the background of some of these slides that there are some spaces that are amazing, and we'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end. But right now, I want you to think about and maybe grab a pad of paper and a pen or jot it down on your phone and your notes app. What areas do you have in your space that are underutilized? It might be a spin studio. If your spin classes are not getting as great engagement as they were pre-COVID or a couple years ago when spin was all the rage, maybe it's a spin space. Maybe it's a racquetball court. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. That is my personal experience of underutilized space. Maybe it's a multi-use space. It's a mind body studio or a personal training space that's dormant for part of the day. How can you transform those spaces, or how can you take those spaces that aren't currently earning you any money and are actually causing you to lose money, lose profit, lose revenue? How can you take those spaces and transform them into revenue streams? Old storage rooms. I know we don't want to think about it. I know those spaces, they are a catch-all, but how can you make those spaces, taking them from just being a catch-all room or the room that you close the door and you don't want to think about, kind of like that closet when your in-laws come to visit and you shove everything in it? How can we take that space and make it work for us instead of being a headache? If it is not being utilized, it is costing you. By maximizing every inch of your gym, you want to make sure that maximizing every inch of your gym, that way it is earning you money. It's not empty. It's not sitting there dormant. It is not draining your profits. So if you haven't done it now, I definitely encourage you to take some time and think about those underutilized spaces. Maybe you grab a pen and paper and you go and walk around the gym and just see where people are sitting, where there is dust bunnies in the corner, where there is an opportunity for you to take that space and make it something great. So I mentioned a racquetball court being very personal to me. This is the beautiful space that I teach in. I teach at a gym here in Baltimore, Maryland. It is called Coppermine Fitness. We have a few locations, but this is our unique Gravity Studio location. So we have 6 different total gym encompasses in our space. The only thing that you really can't see here is the high racquetball ceilings. And I did have a question a few weeks ago about the acoustics in a space like this. And we honestly don't teach on a mic, so I don't really notice it because we do have a pretty intimate setting. But I want to talk about how we've maximized this space here. So for full transparency, the gym that I do teach at, Coppermine, is a racket facility. So funnily enough, we have pickleball, we have tennis, and we've had it for years. But for some reason, we're not having the success and the engagement in our racquetball courts. Everyone was sticking with tennis and pickleball. So we saw an opportunity to take this space and really transform it to make it our own money-making, revenue-generating machine. So what you can't see is the gym on the other side of this. So right behind our space is the actual strength floor. So you come right off of the strength floor into this beautiful studio. It's quiet. There's a desk in here. We have our own tea, our own candles, our own water and towels. So we've really tried to make it be that boutique fitness feel. And I understand not everybody has the ability to do that, but this is just one way of making it feel really exclusive and special for the members who are coming in to take part in this fantastic program. It's 800 square feet, and we offer three different types of classes. We offer Pilates, strength, and boot camp. And we're going to talk about classes in a minute, but I want to give you the full picture of this breakdown. So we do a $25 member rate to drop into our classes, and then the $30 for non-members. We do offer class packs where they can buy 5 to 10 classes as well instead of dropping in, just to give a little bit more of that financial investment. But on average, we have more members in our classes than non-members. So I'm going to utilize that member example to talk to you about some of the financials and the breakdown. So on average, we do have 6 members in our classes. Right now, I'm sure like you, we have an instructor shortage. So we honestly would love to put more classes on our schedule, but we just don't have the instructors to teach it. So right now we have 6 members in a class, and doing some simple math for the total return per class before our instructor split, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, is $150. So that is just at the very top. You're filling your classes. There is 6 people on each machine. You'll notice in here, we do not have a demo machine, which is completely up to you and how, your gym would best run and how your instructors would best be able to teach the class and cue. So at the very top, it's $150 coming into the space before the instructor split. At the space that I teach at our program, we do a split 50-50 between the instructor and the gym. So the gym return per class is $75. Now, if we're running 4 classes per day, that's going to be an extra $300 on revenue each day. That boils down to about a week, about $1,100 of weekly revenue based on roughly 15 classes a week. Now, on average, that monthly added revenue is about $4,500. Now, note, our classes do generally have more members than not, which we talked about. That non-member rate is $30, so we could have a mix in there. This also doesn't factor in our revenue generated from personal training, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but just keep that in mind. This is the financial breakdown that we just went through is really focused on that small group training model. But again, $4,500 every month coming in. There is so much that we could do with that. And again, think about those underutilized spaces again. They're not earning you any money. And now, what if you could take it into a tool that is going to do amazing other benefits for your members? But at the very top, think about the additional revenue benefit you can be gaining from it. So now I want to talk about classes. How do we bring this space to life? We all know that group fitness and small group training fosters a strong sense of community within the gym. The shared experience and the support system motivate members to stay consistent and achieve their goals. Group fitness and small group training also increase member engagement. These programs enhance member engagement by providing a more dynamic and social workout experience compared to independent training at times. It also can increase revenue streams, which we just talked about. Charging for classes and programs generates additional income beyond standard gym membership. So I want to add that member and non-member rate that we talked about in small group training is on top of their membership rate. In the space that I teach in, the membership rate is $75. So we're asking for an additional $25 on top of it, which compared to some other boutique fitness studios, it's a pretty low rate, right? Like think about your Pilates studios in the areas or your smaller group strength training studios. They might be charging between $35 to $45 per class. So $25 to $30 on top of their membership is actually way more worthwhile considering all the other benefits that they're getting when they join the gym. And not only retaining your current members, but think about your new members. Offering a diverse range of classes, including Pilates, high-intensity interval training, yoga, and specialized programs like Gravity, attract a wider range of clients with varying interests and fitness levels. And then we all know It's going to retain our members as well. By providing a valuable and engaging experience, small group fitness training and group classes can contribute to an increased client retention, ultimately boosting long-term profitability, which I know is what we are all looking for. So what are some examples of these classes? I've identified 3 here, and these are certainly not limited to what you can offer. And we'll talk about what those different examples look like. So Pilates, it's a huge trend right now. It's a huge surge. As someone who is classically Pilates trained, who has been taking Pilates classes since they were 14, I know it's trendy right now, but Pilates is not going anywhere. And as our baby boomers and our aging population gets even older, Pilates and low impact classes are going to become even more important for our gyms to offer. So for example, Pilates on the Total Gym offers that integrated core principles that the Pilates reformer would offer. You can do all of the amazing things on the Total Gym Encompass reformer that you can do on a regular Pilates reformer. You can improve posture, enhance balance, and move through a series of controlled movements that increase stability and flexibility. We have packages that you can place on the reformer tool that really amplify that Pilates practice and experience. Strength training classes are another modality that you can offer as well. So with the incline and resistance being gravity instead of a pulling resistance via a band or a spring load, it builds muscle and increases lean muscle mass, but it places an emphasis on a lower impact modality on the joints. What I mean by that is it puts less stress on the joints because you're moving against body weight and your own gravitational incline. So it's a much gentler feeling on your joints while not being gentler on those muscles. It is safe, it is effective, and it is very efficient. Fusion classes are classes that are combo classes. So think boot camp classes where you might be doing some more of those cardiovascular movements, or movements where, maybe you're doing some body weight positions and you're on the equipment at the same time. Because the beautiful thing about this, and I've kind of buried the lead here, is that this machine folds up. So if you have 6 machines rolled out, just like in that example at Copper Mine where I teach, you can teach a class where you have the equipment set up in 3 different stations, say a core station, an upper body station, and a lower body station. You can fold the other 3 pieces up and do body weight training on the other side. So you could do a plank station, you could do a bicep station, and then you could do a deadlift station. Just spitballing here some different ideas, but the possibilities are really endless. And if you're in a multi-use space, now you don't have to marry it to a certain piece of equipment. You can fold those pieces up, move them off to the side because yes, they are on wheels and they operate just like a spin bike. And you can continue to teach other things in those spaces. So again, in thinking about where and how you can program classes via the small group training model on the Encompass, say you have a yoga class or a yoga studio, a mind body space, where you're running bar classes and yoga classes from 7, 8, and 9 in the morning. What happens between the hours of 10 and say 4 before your nighttime classes start? You could be running personal training in there, making additional revenue for yourself and your instructors for that entire block of time. You could also run a 30-minute express lunchtime strength training class on the Encompass. And then in the evening, if you don't want to host Encompass classes or small group training classes, you fold it back up and you run the rest of your mind body programming. So let's touch on personal training a little bit. The Total Gym's versatility allows personal trainers to offer unique and challenging workouts, going beyond traditional exercises and keeping clients engaged and motivated to enhance your personal training offerings. As someone that uses this for personal training myself, I like to use it in areas where I have clients coming to me with either a specific goal in mind, just like any personal training client would be, And also someone who maybe isn't ready for some of those body weight or weight machine exercises yet. So this machine can act as a very, very good assistance tool for someone who isn't quite ready for balancing on one leg yet. Someone who might be recovering from a hip or ankle injury or replacement or a knee replacement. When they're first coming back to the gym, I want their range of motion to be controlled. I want their balance to be controlled. And I want them to feel confident to keep coming back for more. So I put them on the total gym and we do single leg exercises, but it's in a controlled environment. And I'm not worried about their balance yet necessarily in those exercises. I'm focusing on getting that leg back stronger to where they can work themselves up to some of those body weight and weight training exercises. Another example that I use this in a lot is for postpartum. So, like a Pilates reformer, I'm going to use this to get my clients back to their strong self of to where they can feel confident to enter the group fitness or the small group training space again. The beautiful thing about the Encompass versus the reformer is that you're on an incline here and you can kind of see the equipment in the background. So for my pre and postnatal clients, I'm not worried about them being on an incline and it being unsafe for them to be in that position because I know that I can control where they are on that incline and I know it's going to be safe. So going beyond those examples of how you can utilize it in personal training, the Encompass is so versatile that you can provide, like we talked about, more dynamic, more engaging opportunities for your clients and have improved client satisfaction. Again, you can utilize this to offer additional revenue streams. So the Encompass can generate additional revenue for both the gym and its instructors and can offer new opportunities for income growth. Now, when we think about classes and personal training, as someone who is very entrenched in the talent of our group fitness instructors and trainers, I always think about champions. And I like to call them champions, brand champions, class champions, gym champions, because that's really what they are. When you think of someone who is a champion, they are going to talk about their classes and their brand and what they're doing in the gym super duper loud. So when you think about your gym and your instructors, I want you to think about some of those people that you have on your staff who are your champions. They're your brand ambassadors. They are enthusiastically promoting their classes and your gym, and they play a very crucial role in the success of your programming. Passion is contagious. So when your champions are sharing the passion for the program, it creates infectious energy that motivates members to participate and encourages them to return for more. It also provides an exceptional experience, motivating the participant to come back because they're including clear instruction. They're giving personalized feedback and they're giving positive and encouraging cues and coaching to make for an amazing environment. And that is crucial for driving class attendance and member engagement. So when you think about bringing on new programs or converting a space, transforming it into a revenue generating machine, I also want you to think about who is going to lead the charge and who is going to make that happen in your space. Now, we talked about some of my favorite spaces from all over the world. So these are some of my favorite gravity spaces, and there were some back in our presentation as well. That's not included here, but Taiwan, Virginia, Canada, California, New York, Arizona, Texas, Italy. The list goes on and on of the incredible examples that we have of gyms and studios and boutique fitness studio owners who have taken on the role of champion themselves to transform their space. So again, just to recap, as we look at all these beautiful spaces, the benefits of gravity training on the Total Gym Encompass is that it is a low impact workout that can be done anywhere, virtually anytime. It's also a great way to build muscle, improve balance and coordination, and boost proprioceptive awareness via the unique glide board that we have on the Encompass. Now, I'm sure you're asking, okay, Becca, this is great, but how do I get trained up on this? How do I identify my brand champion and then nudge them in the right direction to complete this training? So, the Total Gym Gravity course is a comprehensive online self paced course that teaches you or your instructors how to use the Total Gym to perform a variety of gravity training exercises. The course is taught via certified fitness professionals, and it is all online via an asynchronous format. So it's on demand, self-paced. I highly recommend putting a time frame on it, but it's go at your own pace so people can complete it as quick as a few weeks or as long as a few months. The training goes through the definitions of the equipment, the anatomical body positioning, the exercises, how to launch classes, and even marketing ideas for your classes. And as you think about those champions in your space, I want you to kind of recognize like who is this training for and who are these classes for? So the training is suitable for anyone at all fitness levels, at all training levels, from beginners to advanced. Trainers get officially certified once they have completed all the on-demand coursework and have submitted their assessment video to a master trainer for review. Now, we recognize that online doesn't replace the ability to be in person and the connection to have one-on-one time to talk through all of these new knowledge gains with. So we do also offer the ability to work one-on-one with a master trainer virtually or in person if your space is close to a master trainer to really talk through all of those things at no additional cost to the trainer or the gym. And also on special circumstances, we host in-house trainings in person as well. And then who are these classes for? Anyone. So at the space that I teach at, I have participants and clients ranging from 25 years old to 75 years old, all genders. I have women, I have men, I have bodybuilders who have entered the Pilates space for the first time who absolutely love it. I have middle-aged women who have never worked out before who keep coming back for more because they've never experienced anything like this, or maybe they haven't been able to move like this in a really long time. So when I say these classes and these programs are for anyone, they truly are for anyone. And I have seen it unfold right in front of my eyes as I'm teaching these programs. So in conclusion, don't wait to get a jump start on this. Every minute that your spaces or those unused spaces in your gym sit dormant, you're wasting money and resources. I'm just going to be blunt. So reach out to me. Let's schedule a free space audit and collaborate together to see how we can maximize your space. I'm a big believer in collaboration and connection. And even if it's not something that's on your radar right now, but it might be on your wish list for years to come, let's chat about it. It's better to know all of the information now and get really familiar with all of the details so you can make the decision and you can think about it and noodle on it along the way as you work through that process. So reach out to me. Here's my phone number, my email. You can use the link right there to schedule with me. Like I said, no strings attached. It's just a free space audit. We can literally hop on FaceTime or Zoom together and walk through your space. Or if you're on the East Coast, I can hop in my Total Gym van and come meet you and walk through your space, and we can talk about what that would look like. But reach out if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as I did, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.